Thank you for coming back and listening to another episode of Endometriosis, the podcast where we talk about all things endometriosis. The raw, the real, the confusing, the emotional, and everything in between. Whether you're newly diagnosed, deep in the journey, or supporting someone you love, we're so glad you're here.
I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so glad you're here.
Because you moved out last week and I'm not coping.
I'm like traumatized that I had to move out, that someone else is living in the apartment, downstairs. And just moving was traumatizing.
I honestly, when I came home that night, like, they'd already moved in. And I think I had a bit of a meltdown.
You're like, who are you? Why are you
like, you're
here?
in my friend's house. Get out.
It felt so weird. Like, yeah. Even coming back today and doing the podcast, I was like, wait, I can't park in my parking spot.
I know.
And like, this is my apartment.
Yeah, I know. You'll be back, definitely.
I definitely will be back.
But yeah, it's been a bit of a week. I've had a bit of a funny week as well. I've actually had like from one extreme to the other. So on Monday, I actually won a competition and I won a reformer.
Which is wild. When you told me, I was like, wait, what? It's like a whole reformer.
Like a whole reformer.
And then I was like, where's it going to go? Dane needs to clear out to clear
out his wardrobe room because it's my room now. I'm so excited. Yeah, like.
And Def's going to come over
just,
here
for the reformer. Where the key is. Yeah. You just come over. So that was a really, really amazing win for me. But then yesterday being Friday morning, I woke up for Pilates at 5 a.m. and I woke up and I thought, I don't really want to go today. I wasn't going to go. And then I was like, you know what, go. So I got in my car and I drove out of the driveway and I scraped the whole side. I'm not even going to call it a scrape. I fully had a car accident on the side of my car.
When I saw the photo, I was like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, I thought you had a car accident.
It was like...
You took it with some speed.
I took it with some speed and I took the brick wall with me. I turned... We have quite a tight driveway.
It is very tight.
And I turned, obviously, too soon. And I heard this weird, like... really
metal
loud
crushing.
screech and I was like, that was weird. And then I stopped my car and I was like, oh, that was weird. And I sat in my car for about 15 seconds and then I got out of the car and Dane popped his head out and said, are you okay? So it was obviously so loud that he heard it.
Oh, from upstairs.
From upstairs.
No. So he popped his head out there.
Popped his head out.
Are you okay?
Yeah. And then I looked at my car and it's like completely indented, scratches. Like there's brick wall in my car. And I've just been so rattled ever since. Like it's not good.
It actually does really rattle you.
Yeah.
Like hitting your car.
Yeah.
You start being like, do I trust myself to drive again?
It's also just so embarrassing now driving around people like, that girl is a really bad driver.
It could have been someone hitting you.
Yeah. I'm blaming it on... I don't know what I'm blaming it on yet, but it wasn't me.
Right. You're a cute girl walking to your car. They'll be like, oh.
Checks out. Actually, it's so
What's
funny.
Your bumper sticker
Yeah,
say?
Dane bought me a bumper sticker recently and it says, hot girls hit curbs. And I might have to cross the curb out and write brick walls.
Yeah, you're taking that literally.
Oh, so yeah. And that on top of Tash moving out has just been a bit of a...
Yeah, it's been a week.
It's been a week.
It's really been a week. I'm just so keen for this weekend to just like reset and go into a new week.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yes, this episode.
I'm very excited about this one. Yeah. We've got Amelia on, who is a naturopath, and Amelia has supported me throughout my endo journey the last few years, and she's just honestly sunshine and she's incredible. So
I can't wait to meet her. How did you meet her again?
I actually met her through an event that my Pilates studio was holding, and it was to support women's hormones, and it was, I think it was a couple of weeks before my second surgery, maybe. Okay. First or second, I'm not sure. I think second. And as soon as I met her, I was like, I need this person in my life. Like, she's just...
You're like, I'm following you.
Yeah, I'm following you around. You're an angel. And yeah, booked in with her, and she just taught me so much about my body and about endo, and she's amazing. She's got endo herself.
And she's pregnant.
She's just, amazing. So I'm really excited for you to meet her. And talk all things endo.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Let's jump in.
Let's do it.
Can you start by introducing yourself and sharing your experience and journey and how it's been with endo?
Yes, so my name is Amelia and I'm from Amelia Botanica. I am a clinical naturopath and I work a lot with women's health, especially endometriosis. So I have endo myself, and that has really driven my clinic to be super endo focused, but all around women's health and just really supporting women kind of on this path. Do you want me to go into my endo story?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Let's do it. So I feel like it's quite a classic endo story where there was many years of uncertainty, not being sure of what was happening in my body. And, in my late teens, before I was a naturopath, there was just a lot of struggles around why am I feeling this way? Going to so many different doctors and surgeons and all of the different practitioners in the kind of mainstream medical model, and just feeling really let down by that and disheartened, because the main feedback I got was, oh, it's just a painful period, or, oh, your cycles are just irregular, or your gut is just, you might just have IBS and that sort of thing. Which I know is very relevant for lots of people.
It's so, just like hearing that from you is just like most women with endo go through this. It's so, and like, how long do you think that you went through all of those appointments, and like how many years was that for you?
Oh, it was probably about 10 years before I got a formal diagnosis. But within that 10 years, I was studying and then completed my studies as a naturopath. And so I just knew in my body that, something wasn't right. And it wasn't just a painful period. It wasn't just, severe gut issues. There was something so much deeper going on. Yeah. And again, that main feedback was go on the pill or have a baby. So when, yeah, we're all just like,
it makes me so mad.
The have a baby one to me is just what?
Yeah. And like at that time when I was 21, I wasn't financially prepared, emotionally prepared. I'd only been with my partner for like 3 years. We were kids. Like,
you're still a baby. Like 21 is so young.
I was a baby, and I was like a different human. And don't get me wrong, if someone finds themselves in that situation and they feel prepared, then like go for it. But in my head, I just felt like, oh, like that doesn't feel right to me. Like, it's really disappointing. So I'd been seeing naturopaths and things for many years. It was kind of normal in our family. And that's when I really was like, this is my calling. Like, I want to figure this out for myself and then kind of move into this, alternative care to be able to heal my body, in quotation marks, we're always healing, but to start that process and support myself.
To nurture your body.
Yeah. So is that why you decided to study to be a naturopath? Because you were really looking for answers for yourself?
Yes, so completely. And I think along the way, I just fell in love with supporting women, which was like, it just felt so amazing in that sense. But yeah, it was definitely because of my own journey and just feeling like frustrated and wanting to get to the bottom of it. And again, naturopathy isn't the whole system of care for people with endo in any way, but it was that thing where I was like, like I get it now. And as we'll talk about today, endo was so complex, but for me, just finding that root cause was like lock and key, and it just like opened a whole new world for me.
Yeah, wow, that's so interesting.
So I think for the listeners that are not sure what a naturopathy is, it would be really great for you to kind of
dive
tell
into
us
it.
and the differences as well between like a naturopath, nutritionalist, dietitian, like because they are all different.
They are all
and
different,
serve different purposes.
Yeah, for sure. So naturopathy kind of comes under the realm of herbalism. So we're looking at traditional herbal medicine as, a healing modality and method. But we also have so many different other pathways in that. So nutrition is such a large portion of that. So as a naturopath, you're technically a nutritionist as well at the foundation. And when we look at that, it's not just like, eat healthy. It's science. And that's what I really fell in love with about naturopathy. Was I came from a medical science background, and I loved that it came in and it was not just like the energetics and the woo-woo, which I also love, you know, but it's really got thousands of years of science and proven to support so many people. So when you kind of see a naturopath, it's all about kind of coming in and seeing, you know, what is your root cause, what's going on in the body from a biochemical point of view. Mimi, you know, I love bloods and
I know you have helped me so much. Like I cannot even explain. Anyone listening, like Amelia is your go-to for all things naturopathy, honestly. Like incredible.
That's lovely. But yeah, it's so much more than like the woohoo drink a plant potion. It's really, really getting to the root cause for people. And again, like that's my motivation to like not stop until we know what's going on. And then, so when you see a naturopath, you're going into like a lot of data collection around your bloods or stools or a Dutch test, hormone testing, whatever that might be. And then you come up with a plan. So nutritional plan, herbal plan, supplements, diet and lifestyle, all of this sort of thing. So it's really quite a rounded sort of like healing modality. Yes. And then a nutritionist will do very much similar things if they're trained in a similar way, but just not with the herbal medicine element to it, which for me was like, is that next level of care.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a beautiful harmony of both.
Yeah, for sure. And then with dietetics, I was looking into studying that before naturopathy, but it is a little bit more medical. So my personal experience with dietitians, you know, isn't as like holistic. And when I say holistic, more of that like back to basics, like really natural healing. So of course they're more in like the medical realm and that sort of thing. So we all have our kind of different point of views.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then I guess whatever resonates with you when you're going through your journey at that time.
Yeah, for sure, of course.
Yeah, I think it's really nice for people to understand the differences too, because obviously different things work for different people. Like I know for myself, naturopathy's been the best. Like I've seen a dietitian, I've done a lot of things, but you know, seeing a dietitian might be better for someone else with endo. Like they might find that easier. So I think it's really helpful for people to understand the differences in it. Yeah.
Definitely. I feel like I want to book an appointment.
I know, you have to. Have to.
When you said take the blood, I hate getting my blood taken, but I was like, I just want someone to analyze me and be
honestly, like the things you learn about your body with Amelia is wild.
Yeah.
Like the things we delved into. Anyway,
I'm
obsessed.
It's so important to me that like women feel that way when they finish a consult. Like, okay, like I get it, and they can explain it to like their girlfriend or their mum or their best friend. Yes. That like this is actually what's happening in my body, rather than like, oh, she's told me to like remove gluten or like be anti-inflammatory. It's like this is
reasonings.
Yeah. Which I've gone down that route before, and I've like obviously not known why. I've had to remove gluten, dairy, everything, and then...
But not knowing, like, the root cause as to why you're doing that.
Yeah, just trying to, like, see if it makes me feel better or not make me feel better. And, it's just, like, going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, for sure. And I think that's also, like, the hard part with what I initially felt was, like, I was trying all the things, but without kind of a backup of why. And I think for people with endo, it can be so confusing, and just having that little bit of why and stability can be really nice.
Definitely. I think as well, like you can take back a little bit of your control. Like I know with me, endo, you don't feel in control.
Yes.
So like at least going through a naturopath like you can kind of get to the root cause and then feel like you have answers and control.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I find it, you know, when you learn about, you can't eat gluten because, and having the why rather than just being like, you can't eat gluten. Because I've got friends who are like, how can food affect your endo? Like, it's not the same. Yeah. But like being able to explain it, I think really helps as well, whether it's to your friends, your partners, your loved ones. This is why I can't eat it, because it will cause X, you know? So it's, it's really, I love it.
Or maybe we just don't comment on why someone can't eat something.
Yeah, maybe.
As well, because so many people are like gluten-free, dairy-free, low FODMAP, blah, 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 blah. And everyone's on their own journey, and there's so many different whys. Like people, might be removing something for, different reasons. So yeah, we just have to stay gentle with that and yeah, be accepting of it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agree. So you live with endometriosis yourself. We'd love you to tell us a little bit about what life has been like for you navigating your diagnosis personally and then professionally.
Yeah. So personally, I think I chose to get surgery, gosh, it was probably like 4 years ago now. And it was a really tricky time because it did give me that confirmation when I woke up and they're like, yeah, we found endo, we found it here, here, and here. Like it did feel a little bit like, oh, like that's nice to know.
Yeah.
But from there, again, that medical model just felt so tricky to navigate because I was kind of discharged and told to go on the pill or have a baby again. And I was I was a naturopath at that point. So that was really helpful to just kind of be like, okay, that's that model of care. They've done their absolute best. I'm going to now move into my own. So just like empowering myself was such a big part. And I would probably say the past 5 years has been head down, like laser focused and really, really putting everything I can into supporting my symptoms and getting myself to a point, in fertility where I could fall pregnant and that sort of thing. So that was extremely individualized and personal to me. And I acknowledge like so many people with endo don't have either the time, the energy, the resources to be able to do something like this. But I think because it was so reachable for me with like my work, that was just like such a big goal. So for me, my main sort of symptoms were pain. I wouldn't say it was like severe in any way throughout my cycle, mostly just like that day 1, day 2 period, which we all know is so gorgeous. And yeah, it was just, laying in bed, feeling horrible, a lot of like lower back pain and sharp stabbing. I would have a lot of pain with sex, so that obviously like impacted my relationship with my husband. And he's wonderful and just supportive in every way. But, it's still really hard when you want to be intimate and loving with your partner and you're just like, could not think of anything worse right now. Like,
Feels,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
it's like
seriously.
my biggest struggle.
yeah, it's a really hard one. So like that segment is really tricky too. Mentally, I felt really like exhausted. Premenstrual time, I was just like a completely different person. And PMDD, which is like a severe form of PMS, was really relevant for me back then. So kind of was just like every day that kind of struggle to be like, oh, like got to keep pushing forward. And that feeling of like, I'm doing all the things, like why is
Yeah.
taking?
Yeah, and I bet that's really hard for you as well in the professional sense because you're supporting women all day, like you're supporting women who need your help. So feeling like that must have taken a really big toll on you too because it's hard to support yourself, let alone
Support.
support
You're so focused on
so many
supporting
other people.
women.
And you are so focused on them, so that must be a challenge too.
Yeah, it definitely was. And I think probably 5 years ago it was the hardest because I was really, really in the depths of it. But now I think I won't say I'm like out the other side, but I've definitely like reached, a place where I'm feeling really comfortable with my endometriosis and kind of like, in a really good place with it mentally as well. I think that's a massive part. So that for me professionally just allowed me to be more empathetic
Yeah.
and just have that connection with women like, oh, I get it. Like the pain with sex, like how shocking and like,
Yeah.
or, I left my pants on the bus today on the way from home from work or whatever it might be. I think just having that touch point and that connection with other people with endo, you can just see in their face like, oh, she gets me. Like
Yeah, which I think
Yes.
is so important because you go through day to day and not many people do get you. So when you have someone who's supporting you who completely understands your symptoms, it makes such a difference.
Yeah.
You're like, I feel heard, I feel seen, like this person gets me. So that's a really big one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I feel like even for your other patients that don't have endometriosis, just the fact that you understand a woman not knowing what's going on and that you're willing to be the one to help her get answers because you've been through that yourself.
Completely. It's such a big driver for me
Yeah.
to just, and I say that in all of my initials, like, I'm here to advocate for you, and like, I'm not going to leave any stones unturned. Like, we're going to figure out what's happening. And, sometimes like it can be really complex and it will take time. Like with my journey, it took that 5 years of like deep, deep, deep work.
Yeah.
And that was obviously my experience. But, it's so important to me that women do leave the session feeling like, oh, okay, I've got someone on my side, because a lot of the time it can feel not that way.
And something to work with as well. I think
Yeah.
that's really nice. Like, that's a really nice feeling of, okay, I've got something to work with and we've got a goal. So, it's like you're not just at this dead end.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's the best.
And do you see a lot of women with endometriosis in your clinic? Do you think that's kind of like your main clientele?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's funny, as a clinician, you kind of go through your own journey, and people come along with you on that, and you kind of can connect with more people with what you're going through. It's so funny the amount of times in session someone will be like, oh, I'm going through this. And I'm like, oh, like that's what I was going through like a couple months ago. So yeah, it's a lot of women with endometriosis, fertility stuff, PCOS, gut stuff, but they're all connected. So
Yeah, of course. And how do you approach their symptoms? As everyone's symptoms obviously seem to be like quite different when it comes to endometriosis. Do you find that a lot of people do have quite similar symptoms, or do you see like a vast majority of differences?
yeah, I think it's that fact that everyone's on such a different point on that journey. So some women might come to me when they're 18 and they have just severe period pain, have been on the pill for 5 years, and they're like wanting to go into it more. They haven't had surgery, versus like a 38-year-old woman who's been trying for a baby for the last 10 years. So I think it's that spectrum of their journey that really plays into it. The main things we do deal with is overall inflammation, and endo is such a complex little animal. It really keeps us on our toes. So everyone has different pathways and biochemistry and genetics that can kind of add to why their body has developed such condition. So it is very complex, and finding out their root cause kind of is that number one. But a lot of the time, women do come and they've got a lot of pain all around the cycle, pain with sex, they've got PMS symptoms, sore boobs, like a lot of the sort of things like are quite similar, but then you treat as where they are on that journey, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
That definitely makes sense. Oh my God, when you said sore boobs, I was like, my
Genuinely.
boobs right now are so sore.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't even. The
Yeah, I
nipple
need
pain.
to book an appointment.
You really
And
do.
like that's the thing, right? Is that women are like, oh, my boobs are so sore, whatever. But when I hear that, I immediately think of like, okay, what's happening? There's obviously some sort of estrogen dominance, because estrogen loves fat tissue, and fat tissue is made up in our breasts. So like the sore in the boobs, or like fluid retention in our lower belly, all of that sort of stuff.
That is
Especially
me
through periods.
constantly.
Yeah,
The
that
lower
is.
belly fluid, I cannot tell you, Amelia. My belly is like a soccer ball and has been for months. I'm like, what is wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah. The fluid retention's wild.
Fluid retention. I definitely get it. Fluid retention in my boobs as well.
That's kind of nice.
Well, it looks nice, but you're like, do not come near me.
Yeah.
No,
it looks
it's
nice, but
not
don't
nice.
touch
Don't
me.
touch me.
Yeah, these are not
Sometimes
fun.
just one. Like right now,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like one is like double the size of the other. I'm like, what is happening?
Endo is a really sexy condition.
Oh my God, yeah. My boyfriend loves it, but I'm like, don't come near me.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't, you can just look, but don't touch.
Yeah.
So when you're working with a client who has endo, what are some of the main things you focus on supporting?
Yeah, so I think it's mostly meeting them where they're at. So some women come in and they're like have a lot of capacity to like do all the testing, completely change their diet 180. They're like, Amelia, I'm like, it's time. Where some women come in and they're in so much pain and they're exhausted and they've had financial issues or a relationship breakdown, or whatever it might be. So they might just be like, Amelia, I can only just eat eggs for breakfast instead of coffee. Like, so it's just really independent to like how they're going. But overarching, we want to start with inflammatory support. So the diet is so important for this, as we were saying before. So really looking at where we can bring in food as medicine, which I know sounds like witchy and woo-woo, but it is.
It really
No,
doesn't. It's like,
yeah.
it doesn't at all.
I
It's
think
really
in 2025, anyone that doesn't think food is not medicine.
Yeah.
exactly. It so is. And
Yeah.
so looking at, where we can make some additions to the diet, not big changes or removing anything, just changes that are really beneficial to them and where they're at. So for example, my endo clients, we want to look at SMASH, so sardines, mackerel, anchovies, herring, salmon, 3 times a week. Like,
Well,
that's
that's
really
good.
fish.
I love all of those.
Do you?
I'm obsessed with all of those. I don't eat it because everyone around me doesn't
It's
like
like,
the
no, can
smells.
you not? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
can you not? But
can't
I
do
could
it.
eat it every day of my life.
Oh my God, do it.
I
Okay,
didn't know that was a thing.
yeah, exactly. So for you, like a lot of women are like, I hate it, Amelia. So we work with it and we find a way that we can like mash it into guacamole, put it into pasta sauces, like hide it in some sort of way. But if you love it, like having sardines for your brekkie with your eggs and smoked salmon, like all of those sort of things are amazing.
Okay.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So, sorry, I'm really diving in a bit personally here.
Yeah.
Do you need to just any like canned, or does it need to be fresh or like
Yeah.
wild caught? I don't know.
Next time I see you, you're just going to be like pantry full of like smash.
I love it, smash. But so again, it depends like where you're at. My preference is like wild caught oily fish in glass jars. So my favorite brand is Good Fish, or Canadian Way is a really good one for like your frozen salmon.
Okay.
That is really expensive though. So if that's not where you're at, you just have to do your best. But if you can find any of those oily fish in glass jars, that's the way to go.
Okay, so glass jars is the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. So many women are like, I'm eating my oily fish, and it's like tuna in a can.
That's me.
Totally fine. That's all good. But when we're looking at endo, heavy metals are a big driver, and the nickel and the
Oh,
Oh my
the
God,
tin.
of course, the
Yeah.
tin. I never thought of that.
I eat tuna every single day.
Me too.
Okay, I'm going
I
to get
love
the glass
tuna.
stuff.
Yeah. So you can get it from Harris Farm.
86
That sort of thing is so good. And
They
just
will be like, what is
Yeah, be like, I've swapped out buying clothes for tuna
Yeah.
in a jar.
honestly, like you got to do it. It's just like you got to choose. So
Actually, I found a brand the other day, Little Tuna. Have you heard of Little Tuna, Amelia?
no, I have to look it up.
Yeah, it's all glass and you can
Good.
buy it in bulk. So maybe we could do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Should we do that?
I think
Split
so.
it.
Split
Split
it,
a
yeah.
tuna delivery.
Endo things.
Yeah.
That's really interesting about the tin. I've never
I
thought
never
about
thought-
that.
And I guess as well because tuna is a heavy metal fish, right?
Yeah.
Like people associate it with that, so you don't want to add more. I never thought about the tin.
Me either.
Yeah, and like
Is
with
that
the
with
tuna,
anything? Like
Yeah.
beans in a tin?
Oh,
yeah, you have to do your
Yeah.
best there. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, if you're eating it like once a week or something, it's not a big issue. But it's when people are like, I'm eating 2 tins a day. It's like, okay, we're adding to our toxic load, which
Yeah.
is such a big, important
Oh
thing.
my gosh, I never thought about that. I do eat it, like, because I eat a lot of, like, butter beans,
Same,
cannellini beans,
lentils.
lentils from a tin. Then I have my tuna in a tin.
Same.
Okay.
That's
Tin hero.
yeah,
This is
interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, like that's just something you've learnt, and we can start here. Like, doesn't have to be a big worry. And so many women are like, "Oh my God, I've been doing this for years." Like, myself, I'm like, it's fine. We've learnt today. Today's day one. We can start again.
Yeah.
And the one thing having endometriosis that I have learned is how resilient the human body is. Just because, yeah, you've been eating it for years and years doesn't mean if you make small changes now, you can heal yourself. Like you can start the healing journey.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean
absolutely.
you're written off.
No.
Which I think for a while I felt like that. And then now I'm like, actually the body's so resilient.
Yeah, it really is.
And you have to be gentle with yourself, because it's not like you're just dealing with a common cold. Like, you're dealing with a lifelong chronic illness that can be really debilitating. So I think just like that gentleness is so important. Like, I'll catch my clients be like, like being really rude and rough on themselves. I'm like, okay, let's just pull it back a little bit and like
Yeah.
hear how you just spoke to yourself. Like, that's not helpful. Let's just be gentle And we're so good at beating ourselves up when in actual fact we just need to be really, really soft here when you're going through this stuff.
That's a big lesson you taught me, actually, Amelia, because I remember, like, with my first session with you, I was so mean to myself, and you were like, it's okay, like, you're dealing with so much, and I was like, I really am, and I'm like blaming my body for all of these things, but rather than the blame, bringing the gentle reminders that, like, your body's trying to protect you, and like there's all these different things. And I think that's a really important touch point, because so much of the time, like, you've got inflammation and then you're like, well, I feel really fat and I feel really gross, and you're being mean to yourself, but in actual fact, like, you're inflamed because your body's protecting its organs. And so there's all those gentle reminders that I think people need to remember. What's it like for you emotionally and professionally navigating endo alongside your clients who are also going through it? Like, do you find that that's quite a big emotional toll for you?
Yeah, I think at the start with any clinician, you take your clients' stuff on so much more. And I've definitely learnt, like, how to build a very loving, protective barrier around myself, because otherwise I would just finish my day and just be crying, because I'd be like, I just can't believe, like, this person's going through this, and, like, I just wanted to wrap them up and hold them. And that is still very much the case. Like, sometimes my husband comes home and I'm just like, like, so emotional, because these women are, like, you know, they mean so much and they're so important. So yeah, it's definitely an emotional job, and it can be really tricky to not take it on all the time. But in saying that, I also think, like, that's one of my superpowers, is that I do care so much. So yeah, it can definitely be tricky, but the good thing is that I can also feel into, you know, I know how they're feeling. And so it drives me definitely to be like, okay, let's get this, like, under wraps, or take something better for this person. So it's very motivating, for sure.
Yeah, that's really nice. I love that. And would you say that a holistic approach to managing endo is one of the best, outside of, I guess, surgeries and things that are quite needed? Do you think a holistic pathway is probably the best one to go down?
I think, obviously I'm biased, I love this path, but I also think that a very much joint approach is very important here. And without putting my own personal experience on this, like, surgery can be life-changing in an amazing way for endometriosis. So I think that, you know, supporting and buffering my client wherever they're at, and if they're doing surgery, I'm like, hell yeah, let's do this, like, let's support you around that. If they're choosing not to, I will also support that too. So I think that because endo is so complex, we need all of the different modalities to lean on to be able to have the best outcome for clients. So of course, naturopathy to me is, like, my personal go-to, but I think for every client, I'll never not be like, okay, we need to bring in a psychiatrist, psychologist, we need surgery, like, and giving that support, because that well-rounded care is so important. So yeah, I think for me it's, like, so important, but I think generally we also need lots of different modalities to support.
Yeah, like a team. Like, you need a team to support it.
For sure. Yeah, because I'm not a psych, I'm not a surgeon. Like, there's people that need that support.
And I think mentioning a psych is really important too, because it is such a mental toll to go through endo. And personally for me, like, it's really taken a toll on my mental health, but I started antidepressants a year ago, and, like, that's really helped me. And I think that that's, just something that we like to touch on a lot, because the mental health of it is so hard to deal with. And, you know, going and seeing a psych or a therapist or getting antidepressants is so beneficial.
Just talking to someone about it. I feel like you might not even think you need to, but I think it's important.
I thought I was fine.
Well, we check on our physical health, but we don't check on our mental health.
Yeah. So I think that's really, really important.
Yeah, hugely.
Yeah. So for someone listening who's never seen a naturopath before, what could the benefits be, especially for someone with endo or someone dealing with a hormonal imbalance?
So a lot of the time women come to me and I'm like the end of the line. They've tried all of the other things and they're like, oh, my girlfriend saw a naturopath and they thought it might be helpful for me, or my mum, or whatever. So I think that generally happens a lot of the time.
Yes.
But you know, seeing a naturopath can kind of provide maybe a different look onto something. So, you know, perhaps your surgeon has given you some options, or you've seen, you know, a different practitioner to help with your support. But it just, for me, opened my eyes to like, oh, okay, like my phase 2 liver detox pathways were completely blocked. And so I wasn't detoxing estrogen properly at all. So for me personally, the pill wasn't going to do anything to support that. Like I needed to really work on that detox pathway. And I only found that out through testing my DNA tests, which was all about, you know, my biochemistry and my liver pathways and that sort of thing. So I think it can just provide a different angle and a really refreshing angle to it, and then you can kind of move into a treatment that, you know, perhaps you've never tried before. So like specific nutrients and herbs and supplements can be life-changing for this sort of thing. So yeah, I think it just provides a different angle to perhaps like the mainstream medical model, which I really like. And it also, for me, my practice is all about like softness and self-care and that sort of thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so important. So if someone, because after, I feel like after everyone that has an endometriosis surgery, the first thing they do say is go on the pill or have the Mirena put in, like
Or have a
straight away.
baby.
Yeah.
Or have a baby.
Yeah.
So do you think if someone is listening and they feel like that doesn't sit right with them, that they could say, no, I don't want to go on the pill and I don't want to have the Mirena inserted. I just need to take some time. Maybe see a naturopath if you don't need to be on the pill. Like, would it be beneficial to get those tests done to?
Yeah, for sure. And like recovery post-surgery is a big deal. Like they were like, you'll need a couple of days off work. I had to take like 2.5 weeks off. It was
Yes.
brutal.
Brutal.
So again, just like that phase is so important to nourish and care for. But yeah, absolutely. I've had women come to me and they've like tried the pill or they've tried the Mirena and their mental health declines or they're getting pain or, you know, still bleeding, whatever it might be. So yeah, that's absolutely something that you can lean on and just being like, okay, like I'm going to try something different here. And
Yes.
it can make such a difference. And I'm never going to say it's going to like heal or solve your endo. Like it's a lifelong thing, but it can absolutely make such a difference. Sometimes it just takes a bit of time.
Yeah. I do agree with that. So what are some good questions women can ask to make sure a naturopath is the right fit for them?
So I always say to people, you have to kiss a few frogs to find your prince. I've had people who have seen like 20 different practitioners and they just don't click with them, or they found one that they just adore. And I think advocating for yourself and being like, actually, no, like that doesn't sit well with me. I'm not going to return to this like practitioner, whether that be a naturopath or a psych or whatever. But also you can be picky and it's your health and well-being. So like, you know, what's your experience with endometriosis or hormonal issues? Do you have it yourself? Like I saw that you have it, like how does that impact your practice? Or, you know, what are some of the outcomes you've seen with your clients? And it's not you like drilling them or like, you know, trying to make them feel bad. It's just about you learning more about them. And I think like that education piece, what they're putting out into the world on social media and all that sort of thing can be helpful as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And what should someone expect from their very first consult with you?
So a lot of digging, 1,000,001 questions, as you'll know, Mim. I kind of want to know your whole health history, you know, when did pain start to begin, or, you know, whatever symptoms you're in for. What is your diet and lifestyle like? Stress, traumas, whether that be mental, physical, emotional, talking through diet and lifestyle. So how are we managing pain, or is there any, you know, negative body image stuff going on? What supplements are you taking? What have you tried? Medications. It's quite a lot of stuff back and forth, but that for me is super important to know as much as I can about you, because there's always something that's just like a little red flag or a little bit more to add to the puzzle piece. And then I'll send you away probably for some testing. So if it's endo, it'll be hormonal testing either through bloods or through your urine, so a Dutch test. A lot of my endo clients as well, we will do a stool test because the gut microbiome can impact inflammation in the pelvis massively. There's so many connections with like LPS and endo and all of that sort of stuff. And then you will get a treatment plan with dietary lifestyle support, so a specific meal plan that we've discussed and you feel really comfortable with. I never like my clients to leave being like, oh, like I've got all this stuff, what do I do with it? So it's very individualized to you. And then I'll start you on some basic supplements. So whether that be like a mag mineral support, some fish oils, some turmeric, anti-inflammatories, and then we'll come back together once we have your results, do a big results session, and then it just kind of like keeps rolling from there.
It's great.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
It's really great.
I really want the stool test and I want the blood. I'm like, analyze.
I think I did the
Analyze
hormone reset with you, didn't I, when we first met? I think that's something that would be really beneficial for you. Because is it 6 sessions?
Yeah, so that I'm not doing that offering anymore. But like my like single consults are kind of in that realm as well. So you just kind of like go through the process of like step by step sort of stuff. And yeah, that's really important to me that it feels like segmented, so it's not too overwhelming.
Yeah, no, definitely do it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely do that. So congratulations on your pregnancy.
Thank you.
How's your journey been falling pregnant while having endometriosis? Because I know it can be tricky.
It's all right. Yeah. So I think the first thing I want to acknowledge is like that so many people are on their fertility journey and want to become parents, and like we all get there in our own special way and it's never straightforward. So my experience, you know, I don't want it to be upsetting or triggering to anyone because we did fall pregnant quite quickly. So again, like I just am sending so much love to anyone that's going through any of that at the moment. But I think the biggest thing was the emotional side of it. Like I was very unsure of how it would roll, but we got married in March and then I'd ovulated on the wedding day, which of course I joked. Really cute. And then the week after we fell pregnant. So it was
it the week after?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I feel very, very grateful, and I was in like shock and disbelief for so long.
Yeah, I bet.
But we can obviously talk through that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is important to acknowledge though, because some women like us, we don't know how long it's going to take. We're told it's going to take a really long time, but just because you have endometriosis doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to fall pregnant.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure that touches back on, you know, how you were nourishing your body and nurturing your body prior to the wedding and taking all the supplements, and because it's obviously something that you wanted quite soon after. So I think that's also something that women can think about too with endo. Like, I want to fall pregnant in the next year. What can I do to support my body in that journey? Yeah.
And it is such a journey. So for us, obviously being like in this exact realm, I was like so laser focused on it. And again, like that is like something I'm so grateful that I have the capacity for, because a lot of people don't. But probably for a good year and a half before falling pregnant, I was like game on and just did so many things, perhaps maybe too many. I think I was using that as a sense of control to be able to be like, okay, I'm doing so much that like, that's just how I was controlling it. So I think mentally it was challenging because I was mentally preparing myself and James to do IVF. And like, that was such a deeply ingrained belief that it wasn't going to happen. So I think when it did happen, there was just so much like shock, and like I was like, no, like I didn't let myself probably get excited until maybe like 15 weeks, because I was like, okay, like it's just not going to happen. Or you know, again, the medical model told me basically that like 1 out of 3 don't go through, and you know, like
you're waiting for the other shoe to drop basically.
For sure. And I'd never been pregnant before, so I didn't know if there was going to be any like physical barriers as Bubby grew. And so it was definitely a hugely emotional time. But James always tells me like, this didn't just happen, you know, for no reason. Like you put the work
So
in.
much work in, yeah.
Like, just being like, how did this happen? Like, I don't get it. Like, so and he's like,
He's looking at you being like,
You did so much.
it's been like your
Smash girl.
yeah, it's like your Super Bowl, like you've been training for this.
Seriously.
I literally felt like this was my like Super Bowl, like it was my game on. I
Yeah.
was so, but to a point, I think there was also a level of like anxiety behind it where it was a bit too much. So next time I'm going to be so much more gentle with myself.
Yeah.
That's learning, right? Like,
Of course. And how have you been feeling through the journey of being pregnant, both physically and emotionally?
so yeah, the first trimester was definitely emotionally tolling. We fell pregnant and went for our dating scan. So that's your first scan to see like how far along you'd been and be able to date the expected delivery. And we couldn't find a heart rate. And so it was like the most upsetting, exhausting thing. And again, like I'd known from like a clinical point of view, this is okay. Like it might just be the wrong date. But then like I couldn't look at it from that view. It was just like, this isn't happening. So I knew in myself and like my experience with work that was okay, and this happens sometimes, but in my own head I could not see that side of it. It was really interesting. And then we went back 2 weeks later, and of course those 2 weeks I was just like beside myself
Of course.
all the time. Any little niggle, ache, pain, anything, I was like, oh, this is, and I'd had a lot of one-sided pain on my right-hand side. So again, I went straight into like, it's ectopic, like, quite anxious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bless you, like it's all good. But again, we went to the hospital because it was a long weekend, so the doctors were closed. They did a scan, no heartbeat, and they were like, look, it's probably ectopic if you're having all this pain.
Oh, well,
like,
they said that.
just go home. Yeah, just go home, and if it gets severe to a point where you can't stand, like come back and we'll have to either like, pop you straight into an emergency surgery or give you big medications.
Wow.
Wow. Oh,
And
that's
this
so
was 2
scary.
weeks. This was 2 weeks after that first scan when there was no heartbeat. So then you've gone back to the hospital. There's still no heartbeat, and they're telling you it could be ectopic.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was a lot. So we actually went to hospital quite quickly after that, that first scan. And so, yeah, it was really hard. And as a first time pregnant woman, like I knew again, like what was going on, but I just couldn't like be real about it.
Yeah.
So then we decided to go to a private scan in the hospital, at North Beaches Hospital. They are incredibly beautiful there. And the lady was so gorgeous. We had to do an internal ultrasound because it was too early. Got a heartbeat, and it was like the best thing ever.
Yeah, I bet.
And the sonographer was beautiful. She was like, oh, you've had some pain. Do you have endo? And I was like, yeah. She's like, oh yeah, I can see your like right ovary is a bit sticky. It's just stretching pain. Like, so it had
What a relief. Yeah.
such a relief. But, and like that was obviously the journey, but it was just so hard because if we had initially gotten that answer of like, oh, I can just see your right ovary is a bit sticky because the ligaments and things are all changing, your uterus is stretching, that's why you're having pain. So yeah, big lessons.
Of course.
Very hard time, but that's okay.
Yeah, I can imagine how hard that would have been.
Yeah, that's very scary.
And have you had much pain, like kind of since then with your endo? Have you noticed still having flare-ups, or has it kind of eased?
Yeah, so not having a cycle has actually been quite nice. Not that they were too bad in the end, but it has been quite nice to not have that hormonal fluctuation over the month. As much as I love to like empower women to lean into those seasons, it's been quite nice to be quite
just a little break.
a little bit less psycho. No, totally fine. But yeah, definitely have had quite a bit of pain, especially around like scar tissue where I've had surgery, my belly button, but my obstetrician and I have like spoke about it extensively, and that's been all okay. It's just because there's such rapid growth happening.
Of course,
so, it's quite stretchy.
Yeah, I find that quite interesting though, because I've people have said, oh, you fall pregnant and like your symptoms ease, which is obviously maybe not the
Yes.
case.
That's what I've heard
Yeah.
too.
Like
Yeah.
it's like it disappears, but
Yeah. And like I think for a lot of women that is the case. And other than that, there's been no other symptoms, but it's definitely just been that kind of stretching. And then I had like some nausea and anxiety in the first trimester, which we were expecting. And then now I'm feeling like kind of back to my normal self, which is really nice.
that's so nice.
Yeah. Has pregnancy changed the way you view your body and your health?
Completely. Oh my God. So much. I think I've really learnt to become even more gentle with myself, and my to-do list and my motivation feels very different. So pre-pregnancy, I think, like my movement and the way I kind of looked at the world and my body and healing was really quite regimented. And I was still, doing stuff for my nervous system and resting, but it felt like a bit of like a tick off the to-do list. And now it's like even more of a non-negotiable. So I feel I'll never go back to how I was previously. And that was just that, experience and journey. But I definitely feel this like complete softness, and so much respect and love for my body that I think I had, but I think was just in a different way now, because it's not just about me now. So it feels really different.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah. And if I need something or want something, like it's just going to happen, and I make it happen. And it's not like, oh, okay, no, I need to, finish work before I go and do this, or like, it's just like, no, okay, that's what I need now. Like, it's really interesting.
That's really lovely. Yeah, I really like that
beautiful.
answer.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's something I'll definitely take into.
Yeah, because you're so right. Like all of those things that we do for ourselves, it's the same for me. Like I'll tick it off the list. Okay, I've gone to Pilates, I've eaten the healthy food, I've done this, I've done that. But actually, like leaning into it and enjoying that would be such a different experience rather than just doing. Like
And
you're actually
thinking,
being.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking like, what do I actually need and want right now? Not just like, what should I do?
Yeah, what does my body need?
Oh,
I
so
love
fun.
that.
It's really, really fun. Like,
Yeah, I bet.
my intuition's like, this is what you need. I'm like, okay, cool, that's what we're doing. Like, everyone and a lot of people around me have said, like, you're really just like telling us what you need right now. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So fun.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that you're not going to go back. I feel
Yeah.
like
I love it too.
it's what it should have been from the start, I guess,
Yeah.
for all of us.
For sure.
And for women who are currently struggling with endometriosis, what is the one piece of advice you would give?
I think start small, be gentle. Don't feel like you have to solve it all in one day or a month or a year, because it can be so complex. And just know that you're not alone in your experience. I think it's a really big one for me. I felt so alone and confused. So like things like, what you're doing is so important for people to feel like they have a sense of community, whether they have endo or PCOS or anxiety, whatever that might be. So starting really gently with that and finding people that are going through similar things feels really good.
Yeah.
And also just find help, don't feel like you have to do it all on your own, and getting that support. Even before I fell pregnant, I saw my naturopath again after years of not seeing her, because I just wanted that person to tell me that I was doing the right thing, or that someone to just be like reassuring. So I think just connecting with someone in the realm of health that you feel really comfortable around, to just even like have a blab and be like, oh, this is so hard, and then be like, oh, I see you. Like that to me is really important. So find your people, get some support, and just be really slow and gentle, and know that there's another side of it as well.
I like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I like that you say that there's another side to it, because I feel like that is important too, because it really does make you stop and like think about your body and what you need, and connect with yourself.
Because you really don't see like the light at the end of the tunnel when you're in the trenches of like a bad flare up or daily pain. So I think that's a really nice takeaway.
Yeah.
And if you're, having daily pain, and it's really, really debilitating, which it is for so many women. Again, like just those small things that you can do for yourself are so helpful. Like whether that being, you know, asking a friend to bring over a meal, or a partner to make you a cup of tea, or have someone give you like a little back rub. Like it doesn't have to be solving things all the time. It's just having that little bit of self-care that can be,
The love and support around you, I think, is just such an important thing.
yeah.
It really makes such a difference. And being able to ask for help, I think, is a really big one too. You know, like
So hard.
it's something
That's
I
a
really
hard
struggle
one.
with. I'm like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But if I was like, hey, Tash, can you just come over and have a cup of tea? Like it would make
Yeah.
the world of a difference,
Yeah.
you know? So I
Be
think
there.
that's really, really important.
That's true.
Mm.
Are there simple, practical things that someone with endo can do right now to support their health, even if they feel overwhelmed?
Yeah. So again, like I said, simplify. You don't have to do like these crazy diets and like things. I think it's just more about finding what feels really good for you. And if there's no pattern or rhythm to it, just going with the flow. And if you do feel like you're in a space where you have some more capacity, maybe doing a bit more like research, or find people around you to help. I think with like the dietary stuff, again, I don't want to like put anyone in a box, but like, you know, some little things that we spoke about today, like, are we eating that's foods that are really like back to basics, like, you know, me, I'm like meat and veg, really simple, like things that feel warming and cooked and nourishing, keeping yourself like warm and protected, you know, not exposing yourself to people, places, things, foods that don't feel light and beautiful to you.
Yeah.
From a lifestyle point of view, yeah, finding things that you can do each week to feel good, whether that be, you know, a lymphatic massage, a sauna, or an ocean swim, like that's free and that's easy. Like just little bits and bobs that can really just make you feel even that 10% better.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the food thing is a really important one too. Like, Amelia, you have some really beautiful recipes on your website. And one of my favorite things to make is the butter chicken. And every time I eat that, I feel so nourished and just like, I'll have to send this to you.
Yeah, can
Yeah,
you?
it's the best. So I think even like cooking yourself a beautiful meal that's nourishing and, you know, great for your body, like that even helps if you don't have the money to go and get a lymphatic massage or do, you know, like there's so many things which I like need to remind myself too, like, yeah, but everyone needs to make this butter chicken.
Yeah.
It's so yummy.
I love butter chicken.
I make it
So
all the
good.
time.
Yum. But yeah, like all those sort of things are simple things you can do. And like if you're not up for cooking, asking someone else to support you in doing that. But yeah, I think we could do a whole episode on the nutrition,
Yeah.
things that I lean into for endo. But yeah, it's just the basics, whole food, simple.
Yeah, beautiful. And are there any myths or misconceptions about endometriosis or natural therapies you'd love to clear up?
Ooh, when I saw this, I was like, I feel like there's so many, but I wouldn't even know where to start.
You're like, where do I start?
Where do I begin?
Yeah, like we could be here all day. I think with endometriosis, I do love how far it's come, even in the last 5 years, like since I was diagnosed. But I think that it's not just like a heavy or painful period. It's so much more than that. And when people hear endo, they just think of like a woman like bleeding and crying and in pain. But
Yeah.
there's so many different ways we can have endometriosis. Like I've had clients that have no symptoms and then they get surgery and they've got like severe endo. So it can look so different to how people imagine. So if anyone comes up to someone and they're experiencing endo on their like journey, whatever that looks like, just be really compassionate and listen, because I think there's so many myths around it and it can be so confusing. It's not straightforward. It's really complicated. I think from like a holistic health point of view, myths are always around like, you know, that we're taking away from the medical model, or like we know everything or we're trying to heal stuff. It's like, no, as we said before, there's so many different ways we can support the healing process, and that's like a lifelong thing. So yeah, I think just being really like sensitive to people around you and like listening to them as well.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, definitely. If you could go back and give advice to yourself when you were first diagnosed, what would you say?
Oh, I would probably give myself the biggest hug to start with
Yeah.
and just be like, it's gonna be okay. So if anyone is like, you know, trying to find out if they have endo or they've just found out, like, know that there is so much out there to support you. There's so many amazing new resources and people. I wish I could just say to myself, like, just take a breath. Like, you don't have to figure it out all now. And, you know, investing the energy and time doesn't have to be hardcore, like, every day.
Yeah.
So just be soft, be slow, lean on people, and be really nice to yourself, because like, you haven't done this to yourself on purpose. Like, unfortunately, this is just your experience, and this has happened for you, not just to you. So eventually we might be able to see, like, oh, this happened for me so that I could support other women in this realm, or you know, so I could start an amazing podcast. You know, it's all happening for a reason, and go slow with it.
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
Yeah, that's a nice
I really like that outlook.
way to look at it. Yeah.
So nice.
I definitely agree. If anyone's listening and really has connected with you, do you take online consultations, or where can someone find you or connect with you?
Yeah, so my clinic is actually 100% online.
Oh, amazing.
The reason being is because I want women to be cozy at home, in their bed, or like if they're having a flare up, just to be in a safe space. And that also is really nice for me too, to be cozy. So I'm online. You can find me on Instagram, Amelia Botanica Naturopathy. I also run health retreats too, which are always really fun.
I'm dying to come to one.
Oh, yeah, they're really, really nice. And then also my website is just Amelia Botanica. So you can find me
We'll
there.
link them as well,
Yeah,
so people
we'll
can find
definitely
you.
link them. I love that you do online. That's like
I know.
perfect.
Yeah, you don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
No one has to leave their house, especially during like winter and cozy time.
Yeah. We'll definitely link you, because I think a lot of people will resonate, and everyone needs to see you, in my
Even just
opinion.
listening to your voice, it's so calm.
I know, I told you. Like sunshine.
So nice, stop. I love it. But yeah, like, supporting women in this realm is so important. So I'm so thankful to come on and chat.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you so
thank
much. We
you.
really appreciate it. It's been so nice to hear your side of things. And
And your pregnancy journey as well. I think that it's really, amazing to hear.